I think we will jump in very quickly here because we have a lot to cover. So I'm pretty sure you've all been here before, but for the people on the recording who are new, I will just set up. I am Jamie Shibley, CEO of the Expressory, and we are a strategic engagement agency. So we manage all of that personal touch stuff that builds your relationships in business. And one of the things that we wanted to do is create a community for business leaders who also like to operate from a relationship first standpoint in business, to come together and have conversations about strategies and tactics that can help us maintain those personal relationships throughout this highly digital age we are in. And it just continues to spiral, doesn't it? Okay, so as many of you know, last month we started the first in a series where we are walking through and teaching you our step-by-step system for the Dream 25 nurturing strategy that we use here. And let me go ahead and pull up the share my screen here. And I am going to share the entire screen. Okay, and then I'm going to flip over somewhere on here. I've got this. There we go. Can you all see the presentation? Fantastic. Okay, so I want to start back and recap just briefly last month conversation. Because as we discussed, I mean, the reason we're doing this month by month is we're stepping through each of the constraints that actually prevent people from implementing this on their own. So what we have found is that, and what we covered last month was, usually when we start conversation with other business leaders about what they're doing to nurture relationships with either their prospects or their strategic referral partners, they don't really even have a list. It's just, yeah, they know who some of these people are, but there isn't truly a list. And so last month we covered how to actually identify who those contacts are, who those companies and people are, and create that list. And so I challenged all of you to go ahead. We walked through how to do that research, whether it be in LinkedIn or AI or just Googling. And my hope was that you could go away and come back with a list of 10. And so in today's conversation, what we're going to do is take a look at how we take the next step, which is taking those lists and then researching to find out more than just their address and email, okay? Because in our world, in this relationship first thing that we talk about, in order to build relationships, people need 3 things from you. This is in social psychology. People need to know, actually, there's more people coming in, let me know this. So social psychology tells us people need to know that you understand them. You need to show them, they need to perceive that you care about them, and they need to feel that you validate what's important in their world. And so for us, this step of research is what leads to the information that helps you show those things to these people. And I believe that is what is starting to limit us in today's digital surface level world from actually moving people in our funnels faster, is because people want to feel more of that relationship. And we're all so busy that the best we can do is just these surface check-ins, and maybe we're sharing a little bit about the work we do or our expertise, okay? But what we're going to accomplish at the end of all of this is we're going to have a complete strategy so that you have the touch points where you can go out and truly show these people you're being helpful to them. You know what's important to them, and you are actually giving them the tools to make their world better, which in turn gives them gives you their attention. Okay. let me keep moving. So actually, now, how do I stop sharing? I want to see the screen real quick. Let's do a check-in. Did everybody, how did last week's exercise go? People have a bit of a list going. We come with a few contacts to work on this. Okay, great. And for those of you, if it was still a challenge, feel free, reach out. Let's see what other pointers I can give you on that. Okay. Now, let me go. This whole sharing thing. It's like I need someone to run this tech for me. Okay, so yes, Nancy, you can run it. Show up next time. You could be in office with me. All right. As a reminder, what we're working with here. If you are working on your prospects, right? These are companies who you consider to be highly worth it, highly valuable to you. They would represent at least 5 to 10% of your annual revenue. And therefore, you would be willing to invest at least $1,000 over the course of a year in nurturing those relationships. That should be like a drop in the bucket on what you would make on them. For those strategic partners, for those of you who work with maybe more B2C, so actually the consumers themselves, we're working on developing a list of referral partners. When they send you referrals, they would be so valuable that they would represent this type of revenue for you. Okay. All right. So let's dig in, and you should all have received, and there we go. You should have all received the next template today. And on that spreadsheet, we have actually gone ahead and placed all of this information. So these data points are on that spreadsheet, okay? And we'll go through these as we get moving on some examples. But this is an overall list of the type of information we're going to be researching. I'm going to move through this fast because the best way to show you this is going to actually just be to dig in, okay? And if it helps, I can send you this presentation afterwards. Pretty much everything you need is in that template. But here's an example of where we're going to start. We start with what we consider company-owned properties, right? Clearly their website, if they have a blog, the company LinkedIn pages, and if they have YouTube, maybe they even have a podcast. And on the right, you can see some of the data points that searching those properties will answer. And then we move into social. Okay, we start with the company, LinkedIn pages, Facebook, Instagram. I am not a Twitter user. I'm not an X whatever user. I have usually found everything we need between these three. But this is where you would also start to flip over into maybe the company's thought leader, their personal page as well. So sometimes when we've been researching, we find that the company might have a page, but the owner is also posting a bunch of stuff. And you can find some interesting information, or maybe it's even your contact, right? The person that we've identified you want to sell to. You want to start to understand their interests, their causes, those sort of things. So at this point, we would start switching over into their personal pages as well. We don't make it too creepy, don't worry. And then obviously we're going to get into some other sources, right? Google them, use AI. I don't know how much, personally, I haven't used AI. I just whip through this stuff in all of these different properties I'm showing you. But I'm sure it can start to pull up some additional information for us as it evolves. And ultimately, I'm going to show you that we are going to get into searching for information about the industry. There is going to come a point where you need to understand at that level as well. Okay, so let me get out of here. And let me explain the spreadsheet really quick. You can minimize the top. You can see if you have multiple industries, what I would do is make a copy. Oh, it's already done that way for you. Look, we thought ahead. But you can see, put your different industries right in the green sections, and then have your different companies associated here, or listed underneath those sections. Because I do know some of you are working with multiple industries. We do ourselves as well. However, you can see the screen, right? I assume you can see the screen. When I did our Dream 25 for 2024, I chose one industry. So I did our financial advisors, and I worked entirely from a list of that. But for some of our clients, we have 3 or 4 industries that we're working with. All right. Going across, you can see all of the different categories we have that we're going to start to collect information in. And then Carrie and I, as we're doing this, we sometimes document, all right, where did we find this stuff in case we ever need to go back and reference it. So we have that for you as well. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be easiest if I take some examples. So I asked Shondell and her team, since there are 2 of them, to start us off with one of their companies, and then I'm going to walk you through this. So I'm thinking, Sheila or Shondell, if at least one of you has the spreadsheet open, probably what I'll do is, as I flip through here, I will call out what I would document and where I would put it. And then maybe one of you could be capturing that rather than me trying to copy and put it in chat or anything like that. Okay.
Let's be real. It's Sheila, can you please copy it?
Okay. Yeah. So let's start with one of your companies.
Yeah. So one of the ones that was really intriguing from last time was Marketunist.
2 T's?
Oh, nope.
Oh, Market.
Oh. IST. Yeah.
This.
Yep.
Tom?
Yep.
Okay. And is he your contact?
So I don't think so. No. So he's a chief marketunist, creator, and keynote speaker. But then Tally Fishburne happens to be the VP of everything else. So when we decided to lean into the marketing agencies, we start to find some fun titles that we're now having to decipher. So
okay, look at this. All these cartoons. This is outstanding. I like them.
I've emailed Tally before.
Oh,
pardon?
Yeah, we had reached out to them to do some cartoons for us.
Really?
Oh.
Oh, so they create cartoons for companies.
They specialize in marketing cartoons, but you can also hire them to do cartoons for like things that you want to represent. Like an author could use them in their book, or you could use them as part of a keynote or things like that.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm super intrigued by their business, to be honest, because creativity is not my specialty. So when I see it done in a different way or whatever, I always think it's super interesting.
Okay.
So what I did though is Marketunist came up on our initial LinkedIn search, and then I kind of dug through their Marketunist page.
Yep.
I went to Tom's page, individual LinkedIn page, and then I've also pulled up Tally's individual LinkedIn page, right?
Yeah.
I've obviously kind of poked around on their website a little bit, which is how I found Tally in the first place.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. So
I've not figured out number of employees, but I think it's low.
that
based
wasn't on that
the
LinkedIn?
website. You know what? Maybe I didn't look in the right spot.
Sales now.
Yep.
So that'll usually have it. I mean, again, that's information we can fill in. But okay, so if I'm digging into this, the first thing I do is I go like homepage. What can I find off the homepage? That look like a lot of their blogging and whatnot. About. So you can see right here, if you were looking at connecting with Tom, I mean, this is some fun Okay, where's that page? All right, let's go to, did we explain, maybe I should explain some of this stuff. One of the things, so this noteworthy column, we challenge when we're doing the research, we challenge our team to find 3, at least a minimum of 3 noteworthy random pieces of information on either the company or the person or team, right? So noteworthy, I might put how he got started. Okay, I might put hobbies and interests. Now, if this were Tom, that he's a speaker. They've done TEDx, so that could go in your conferences, conference kind of event. But let's see if it had, there you go. So it has tally and no real link. Okay. So here's what they do. And this would go under, it's not their goals, it's their market, probably the market goals. So they've helped businesses reach audience with cartoon, right? It can, I love this too. Cartoons can humanize complex topics, show empathy, and spark conversations. I mean, hello, that is a fantastic talking point when you're like, hey, this is one of the things your company does well. It helps showcase empathy, right? So I would even put that in this market goal thing. Okay, let's keep going. Keynotes, interests, nope. They do have a book. I would put that in the noteworthy. Custom cartoons for content. I mean, I would even copy this into where? Actually, that one of those other statements might be their mission too, is to help people communicate with empathy. Let's see, we're here. We believe cartoons are the greatest communication devices. Copy that into values and mission. Okay, now I'm just going to keep us going. I'm going to roll over to Facebook. Marketunist. Come on. Okay. Oh, look at everybody follows him. Okay, one of the theirs is going to be all photos of their cartoons. Because one of the quick ways I do this is I flip over to photos, because sometimes you can see, like, they'll have pictures of their team and you can see they've done team building. You can catch their causes. You can see some of their office things they like. Okay, like here, dogs, hello.
Great Danes.
Right? Oh, look
Great
at,
Danes.
there you go. You can connect on Great Danes. But like make note of where is he? Beach, I don't know. It's not saying much about it, but what else we got?
Fernandina Beach is, I think that's Florida, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I feel like I've been there.
Was he in a band, maybe? Right. Okay, so then the other thing, right? Their posts, or sometimes the about here gives a little bit more information you can pull. But then if the pictures aren't real obvious, start scrolling through the post and see if you can find yeah, see, they're going to be marketing their cartoons here. This could be interesting. All right, what's the other person's last name? Tally,
Fishburne, sorry.
like this. Which one you think?
Tap one.
Top one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Outdoors. Okay. Sometimes they're
So now
blind
these are all
cameras.
from like 2015,
So she's not
right?
posting
So
much.
yeah.
Okay. So LinkedIn, probably gonna have some similar stuff. Here we go. Here we go. 11 to 50 employees.
Thank you.
Yep. They focus on humor. Obviously, we want to put that in. Okay. What else are we looking for here? Let me switch over and show you now how we find goals a lot of times. This particular goals, you're not going to easily find what I as a company have for our goals, right? That's not really public. So the goals here are generally going to be the industry level goals. And so let's come over to Google agent and you start doing a search, agency business goals in 2024, or top goals, let's say. Top goals for agency owners in 2024. Okay, and so for the rest of you, you can Google top goals for whatever industries you're working in. A million people are going to have their opinion on this, right? You're going to start digging through and see what comes up frequently. Like this, top challenge, client acquisition. Put that down in the industry goals. Referrals, word of mouth. How do they acquire new? It's still new. Time management. Put that down. Transparency. Client retention. Technology. How do you use AI? Okay, so, and like I said, I would look through a couple of those Google results just to make sure it's common, right? That they're all kind of reporting that trend. Market goals. So you kind of got to know who their market is. And then you're going to do a similar search, right? What are the goals of people who, whatever that business is, hire agencies? Then this is, go ahead.
Well, when we were looking, when I was looking at their website, I'm probably not going to find it nearly fast enough. It was like diving into using the cartoons. I mean, it mentioned business owners or entrepreneurs, but I feel like it said, I'll dig for it. Go on.
Okay.
Sorry.
So while you're Googling, the other thing you want to search for is common, okay, come on. 2024 top agency owner pain points. Okay, then same thing for whatever industries you guys are playing in, very similar search. Right, so here you go. Limited marketing budget, untapped digital potential, insufficient brand visibility. How do I find company pain points? Here you go. But okay, again, you're going to look through some of these reports and just see what's common. Budgets again. Communication is another top pain point. Building trust. Okay, so you're going to put that up here at the industry level.
This is what we're assuming that Marketuna struggles with as well, right?
All
That's the point.
agencies. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Yes, it's an assumption. Okay. Give me, all right, so that gives you like a general, what we're missing in this particular one is in some of the Facebook feeds. A lot of times you're going to find their hobbies and their interests, like you'll find travel. One time I found that one particular wealth advisor, they had a company mascot they created. Like you can find some interesting things. Like, why wouldn't I note that? Because I could send them something for their mascot. But you know, I mean, it's showing that like you have seen their world. Conferences. You
Callie
want
has some Pinterest boards. Jamie, do you ever stalk people's Pinterest boards? Is that a good thing to do?
Yeah. Are they personal or is it company? Both?
Hers are personal. Like she was really into Christmas crafts last year.
There's a good one. Send her some Christmas crafts, right? The craft kits. That's exactly right. So I haven't gone to Pinterest much. You absolutely should. That is a great find.
Or is that too stalkery? Is that getting too much into stalker?
I don't know. I mean, someday, why wouldn't an agency consider you quite smart, right? That you've done your homework if they receive something like that. I think again, it all comes back to how you word that messaging when you send something. Conferences. I like to note here, what you'll see in their LinkedIn feeds and on Facebook. Hey, me and my team having fun at this conference. Oh, these people went to this women's conference. Note those things. You can extrapolate a couple things from that, right? You can extrapolate that they support their team if it's frequently just their team going, that they're into supporting you know, the women or the diversity in the group. You can see what kind of watering holes they play in because maybe they're attending specific types of industry events. Sometimes you'll see that some companies are posting when they go what do you call it, exhibit at conferences. How could you support them in their practice of exhibiting in places, right? This is the kind of questions that are going through my head as we're researching these things. Awards and milestones. Milestones look like, hey, we're celebrating a new location. We just finished building out our new headquarters, or new branding. New branding is great. That's a great one to celebrate and touch on. Causes, again, if you watch their posts, sometimes on their websites, you'll see proud sponsor of, or they even, how do some of them list it? They list causes we support, some of them. But make note of those as well, because again, part of what we're going to design here in a future conversation is how can you support that? Let's see. I don't know that Pinterest does. That's a great question. I mean, unless it's changed since I've been on there. I haven't been on there in a while. I don't think Pinterest shows who looked at your stuff, does it? Unless you actually click it. Yeah. Not sure. Okay. So I do want to give other people a chance. Thank you, Shondell, for that example. Does somebody else want to work through one of theirs? I'm trying to think of other examples that now, okay, this is also because Shondell pointed out that one person hadn't posted in a long time. If it's something like a particular contact that you have identified who hasn't posted in a long time, I'm not that concerned about it. It's just they don't happen to use that platform. Now, if it's the company hasn't posted in multiple places frequently or recently, then I would start to question if you keep them on your list, because you know, is something changing about their business? Are they still, because I've had some where maybe they've merged or they've gone out of business. So, you know, let those flags come up and maybe do some more digging, but that's where you would question maybe not including them on your list. All right. Anyone else want to throw one out?
As somebody's thinking about throwing their list out, quick question, Jamie.
Yeah.
If we, if we go to, obviously we start with LinkedIn, you went to Facebook, we just kind of keep going to see where they are active. Because there's a
Yeah,
lot of people that have given up Facebook and now they're on
exactly.
Instagram or, whatever else. Do we just kind of keep going through? I'm assuming it's kind of rinse and repeat, right? Like
Yep.
the same scenarios or things that you're looking for in Facebook versus whichever other platform, right?
Yes, I like the acrobats in your background as well.
Oh, sorry.
They
I didn't-
it
I'm looking
does.
at your screen, not my.
If you once you get into this, it is very much a pattern, right? You're going to start here, you're going to quick view, switch over to this other one. And I don't care if you don't find them on one platform, but you find them on another, that works. Because like you said, that's exactly true. A lot of these people, especially the higher up they are, they're not on social platforms, maybe LinkedIn. And then let's be real, like I know Lisa's working with contacts in corporate world, right? Those people are certainly not going to have their company stuff on some of those platforms because a lot of times the big companies control what you communicate, right? So they would only be sharing stuff that like their PR department is rolling out or their communications department is. But what you can find in those cases is, okay, who are they as a person? Here's another way you can approach this, because let's stay with that example of corporate world where you're not going to find a lot, likely based on your individual contact. Another angle to look at this and start questioning is, what do you know about that type of role? And maybe research that type of role. What are their challenges in a company if they are in that position? What are they responsible from a day-to-day standpoint? What are their pain points? What is holding them back? What types of goals are they responsible for within that company? Because that will give you another list of ways you can be helpful. So now you're going to be finding ways to be helpful to that specific person's role. And that's okay too, because again, it's about forming that relationship.
And if I can just say something, I actually have found that it's better for my business to be leaning into agency owners and small business owners, because this kind of personalization is much easier to complete
Mm-hmm.
than, with a corporate structure. And, because I've worked in so many Fortune 500s, I still have a lot of contacts, which is what allows me to get in to do work. It's
Right.
and then finding the relationship once I'm in. So yeah, if you have someone that you've connected with, you can use them kind of as your wedge to
Yep.
get in to touch other people.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
Lisa and I talked about that in a different group. Sometimes you just got to start with the closest person you can and develop that relationship. Another thing you can do that we really didn't talk about, as we're going through these different platforms is maybe some of the people on your list are companies or contacts that you have sort of been introduced to. Have your team or the people where you got the introduction help you fill in some of these blanks. So as we were researching for one of our clients, we asked them, give us a list of all the interesting things you know about these people from your conversation. And we got things like, well, it was interesting, daughter has special needs. They're very into horses. They have a special farm they go to. And so sometimes people can really help fill in those gaps, having kind of brainstorming sessions. And the more, do it as a group, I recommend, because when people start to hear, oh, what you're interested in collecting and taking note of, all of a sudden it triggers more. Oh, I remember talking to them about X, Y, and Z. Okay. You can see, you know, even when we do ours, you're going to have holes. It's fine. Collect what you can. We have some where you're really not getting much at all because they are not public. Like they're not big posters anywhere. So all we could really find was the basics of that company and the industry goal. And that's okay. We can make that work. But in the template that we gave you, you can see some of the information that, you know, we've captured from the websites for other companies. Those were real.
I have somebody who can cyberstalk if you'd like.
All right, let's do it. What we got? Are
Her
we-
name is Laura Lee Kennedy, and she will be a coach.
Okay. Where? Arizona, Ontario,
No.
Ontario.
No, she might be Ontario. Wait a minute, let me look here. Here, let's do it this way. We'll make it really easy. Click on that, that's her profile page.
Where are we at? Okay. You got Facebook. There we go.
That way we have the right one.
There we go.
But she is
New Brunswick.
an ideal client.
Okay.
I'll put it to you that way.
So New Brunswick, look at this. Likes the water, boating, maybe. Posts. Part of a book that needs to be center an elite coach. Okay, go back to doing it just through this way. Let's see, first integrated all-in-one platform. All right, so she's part of Be Connected.
Yeah, and she teaches people actually how to leverage AI.
Okay,
You'd be surprised what AI
yeah,
isn't just about content creation.
right. Okay, maybe likes the outdoors. Animals. Okay, lots of outdoorsy types of pictures. All right, so we're getting back there. I mean, and truly, I will go this far back. Because you can kind of find trends. All right, so let's see. Heck yeah, Shondell. Getting a lot of stuffed animals. Dogs. All right, so she's
Something to note that you may not find on her, and I'm only going to throw it out there. So, as a fellow Canadian, every good Canadian typically has a maple leaf in or around like their surroundings pretty much at all times. It's just a thing. I don't know why, but it just is a thing.
Well, there you go. Okay, so maybe into meditation, work-life balance. All right, so now we'll go over to her website. Oh, so
Oh,
there you go.
well, that's not good.
That'll take that one off the list. Maybe. But she is active and she has been
Did she
doing,
change her website? Oh,
Yeah.
it does. Okay.
She might have, but then didn't do it here. So many people forget all the little hidden places that they have it listed.
what's she? Oh, Kenny, not Kennedy, I see. So, doctor? No.
That one right there.
What's this Blue Diamond Club?
Oh,
So she might podcast host,
Mhm.
author. Okay, financial future. Yeah, so she's definitely into like the manifesting, the meditation, put those things on there. So visuals. Where's our post?
So are you saying if you send a Canadian a maple leaf, you'll do okay? Or they get so many of them, don't go there.
Well, maybe, right?
I don't know. Like we all tend to like our Canadian maple leaves. I really
Well,
don't know why.
find it in a different, a unique form.
Yeah. Yep.
What, Karma Networks. Oh, I don't know what that. Okay, so she's active
Mhm.
on here, but it's not her own stuff. Does she have her?
I can see she doesn't update her personal profiles and stuff often because like being the elite coach, I don't think she is anymore. I think both of us have stepped away from that
Okay.
to a point.
Yeah, I don't see any more brand virtual conferencing. I don't see a link or anything, right? About. She really hasn't done much. And we don't know the company name. Is this the company name? VIP Elite Coach?
No,
All right. So I think this is one where you're going to have some limited stuff to work on, but look at the industry. So I would say financial mindset coach,
mhm.
right? What are her challenge? What are the challenges? What are their top goals? You know, she's a podcast. Find the podcast. Start
There you
looking at
go.
some of the content there. I don't know what the Blue Diamond Club is. That's weird. Don't know. But you might have to go industry level. Do you have her address? Anything?
No, I mean, I
No.
know what city she's in.
Yeah, if you can't get to
Minto, New
a
Brunswick.
website, I would take this one off the list.
Interesting.
Mhm.
See, that's why I gave that one to you, because you
Okay.
know, we didn't have enough info on her,
Mhm.
other than, you know, speaking with her.
So,
Yeah.
okay, but step back for a second. And, I mean, if it's a matter of Nancy, it sounds like you know her at some level, even if it's
Mhm.
from a fan of her work, fan of her presence, right?
Right.
Does it make sense then, Jamie, to go ahead and connect with her and start with a personal message in LinkedIn?
You can. You can. The challenge will be, and thank you for this, Lisa. I don't know if that's the same Laura.
Mm-mm.
No.
She's got a YouTube channel because of her podcast, and she
Yeah.
introduces herself and gives some background on her podcast.
Okay.
So maybe the YouTube channel might be like maybe she uses that as her website.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, this is a different Laura Kenny.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed, if you go back
There
to
it
her
is.
LinkedIn profile,
Yeah.
she only has a few hundred followers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would be inclined to take her off the list only because her
Mhm.
reach for you would be limited. So when I talk to clients, I mean, unless they, come up to me, which happens a lot, if I'm trying to look for a dream client, I also look at what kind of influence they have, where
That's a great.
their word of mouth marketing about my services would attract even more community
Great
and even
advice.
more right fit clients. So I always take that into consideration. And she might be a little too small for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And that's okay, but maybe see who she's connected with. And then, see if maybe not her, maybe there's someone in her circle of influence who would be a good connection.
Yeah.
So there was something about her that you were drawn to. So maybe it just needs to be, a fish of a larger size or a horse of a different color.
Look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, see 20 more about this channel. Joined a year ago. 4 months ago.
Okay, so then, and Jamie, not to occupy, the stage here a little bit, but could we use somebody else that I have as a completely different comparison so we can see? Okay, how about, I'm gonna do this one because I think you even know this person. How about that one?
Oh yeah, I know Allison.
Because
Okay.
this is also a big niche for us.
Okay. So from an events standpoint in her conferences, I guess we should call that, I should probably rename that conferences events. Brookfield Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So it's private with me. Jamie, are you connected to her?
Oh, yes, that's why.
Oh,
So you
okay.
wouldn't find that. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jamie, let me give you somebody else who is also in that field that I have you're not connected to, unless you want to move on to
If
something
you
else.
if you want to like log in as me, I'm not connected to her, or not log in as me, but I can screen share
That's
if you
okay.
want.
What I would show you
Okay.
is her,
You can
what-
go to this one if you
what's her
want.
company? I forget.
Denali Realty,
Yeah,
Denali
there.
Realty Group, that's
Okay.
it right there. There we go.
All right. So this is where we would start anyway.
Okay.
So about, right?
Nice.
And we would have her website. But if we're staying here and we go back to posts, so she's gonna post a lot about the houses, but sometimes you find, for instance, one realtor we just went through, he posted a lot about organizing tips, lots of videos, lots of content, new products for organizing. It was incredible. Like, this one knows her stuff. Like, she's got her marketing down. So that was kind of a thing for her, right? This one is much more general content. So I don't know that we're going to find anything personal here, even related to the group. Sometimes you'll see team building stuff. This is all general social holidays. So let's go over to her website. And again, yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
Is it rude if you see that someone's connected? It's like if Nancy knows that you've got a connection to call you and say, "Hey, help me spy on this person,"
Ooh,
let
I
me know what
love
you
that.
see, and-
That's a great
Totally
idea.
do that. Yes. Yes. And you know what? That is a great tip for like your LinkedIn too, then. I love that, especially because we have like the communities we have, right? I think if people understand what you're trying to do, I'd be supportive of that if somebody called me. Here we go. A unique background, a unique approach. Put that down for like their mission or whatever. In that group. Here is a little like the greeting card aisle. There are happy times. I mean, I love some of this language. Team is perfectly paired to help you with the range of emotions. That's a good thing to cue off on. It's our job to be there to deliver humor, care, and insight. That should go in kind of like what they're helping their market with. Honestly, you guys, some of the time I'm grabbing this stuff. I don't care what column it goes in. Just get it on there. Different perspective. Flexible, affordable, friendly, fun. That should go in there. Friendships for life. Get her a friendship bracelet. I kid you not.
Mhm.
And
She's
these
50.
things.
Her
Yeah.
birthday's August 8th.
Okay,
Mhm.
Lisa's going to help us research all of this too. See, you like digging as much as I do.
Maybe I should be in the FBI. I don't know. I'm
Right.
having too much fun with this.
Right. Put these 4 in kind of like their values and mission as well. This information about the team is going to help you. I know you already know Allison anyway. Right, Denali difference. Okay. Write this down for awards. Oh, this is her market. Maybe pricing strategy. Yeah, I mean, kind of some of it. She's a dog mom. She
Yep.
likes glamping. Okay. Look at, she has a team mascot. That is my favorite. That mascot needs a costume from you for the holidays.
There we
The
go.
expressory needs a
Awesome.
mascot.
It's gonna be a little heart guy.
You can keep going down. Go all the way to the bottom. There we
Okay.
go.
Which, oh, this is your, you shit. This is your app. Nice. Nice.
No, but this app
Yeah.
fits with what you're talking about because this app here actually has all of her referrals in it. This isn't just about selling a house.
That's for
It's
people.
about
Yeah.
whoever you need to connect with, she's got in that app.
Yeah.
So it's all about exactly what you're talking about today, which is to leverage your influencers.
So I would write down the app, right? That's an asset and something you can keep referencing. And then look, she's got all of her sites linked here on her website. Oh, look at, there's that dog. Venice. Oh, she's traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, but you look through some of this. Let's see, what's this? Oh, she's got her Stanley Cups. Right, I mean, but that's a noteworthy. Clearly likes her Stanley Cups. It's little things that, oh, travel. Very, very into the travel. Does she do travel? No.
She travels. This is her
Okay.
agent that she
Gotcha.
uses.
All right, but look at, I mean, you can, food, okay. Foods, friends with food, volunteered. Put that down.
You're
So you
actually
can-
getting more out of her Instagram than anything else.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, you know, Shondell was kind of pointing out earlier. It's why go ahead and look through them all. Sometimes, especially the younger, they're only going to be on Instagram. So it makes sense, even if one is not maintained, to just do the work to click through. And this can all go very, very fast, you guys, because you're going to know this is not, nope, nothing here, move on, you know.
That post is really good. Look in the parentheses there.
Look at that. Oh, baseball nut. All right, there you go. You know, she's into her family. So Brewers, likes the Brewers. She probably likes her Brewers as well. Look at her company swag too. That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
What is, so kind of shocked. Oh, what is this one? Lisa's. Oh. Uh-oh.
Ah,
Interesting.
they like
So,
to scare you with that.
yeah. Interesting. Okay. So you kind of getting it. We only have a couple minutes left here. Anybody have any questions about any other challenging ones? hopefully this gives you enough. I mean, when I tell the team, spend a half hour to an hour at a time, just go through them, maybe come back, make another pass at it. But it doesn't have to take that long. You'll collect some pretty good stuff.
That spreadsheet's awesome, Jamie. Thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad. As you're doing it, so here's my hope. Next week, fill yours in as much as possible next month. And then we're going to take that and we're going to analyze it and pull out themes, so that we can keep moving down the path of helping you design how you're going to show up for these people. So reach out if you have any questions or hiccups, and we'll see what we can do. And then there is also an associated blog, run through some of this stuff again if you need refreshers. I'll put all of this in the follow-up that you'll get tomorrow. So yay, thank you guys for participating and also researching along with me. That was fun.
Well, too much fun.
Yeah. Listen, we can work with it all. Whatever it is you find, if it piques your interest, keep it, right? And let's see what we can do with it. And always ask yourself, like, could I show someone that I acknowledge they care about that? Like, could I help someone with that? Like, those are the kind of questions as you're digging. Okay. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a good week.